Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Paul, and today we're taking a look at another gear haul. Now that work has calmed down a bit, I'm able to get content back out, and we do have quite a backlog. So in this video, you'll see some things that'll either get detailed videos in future, or be part of collection videos, or just pop up every now and then just in my EDC journey. So let's go ahead and jump into it first of all with some knife content, because yeah, knives are back with the channel. Starting with some opinels. Now, opinel is something that I've wanted to add to my collection for a long time. They are iconic. I did want to see what they're about, and they are extremely easily moddable just because of their simple and cheap nature. Well, it's so cheap and readily available that you kind of go, I can get those anytime, and then you just don't. So I was placing a knife order recently during a BOCA sale on Haney Haynes, and I figured why not throw in some opinels as well. Specifically a non-locking number 4 and a locking number 6 in stainless and carbon respectively. Taking a look at the non-locking number 4 first, you can see the inox just showing that it is stainless, and we have just a straight pinned collar, so there is no option of a lock, making this UK legal. The number 6 is larger and does have the rotating collar lock is a vibra lock or something like that. So when open, we can rotate this collar across. There is a bit of a detent in there. You can see that in the groove. This just rotates and then completely blocks off the knife from closing. Now, as this is carbon steel, edge retention will be a bit better. However, rust prevention is essentially non-existent. So I've already taken the liberty of giving this a forced patina. I chose the really basic version of just sticking it in a fruit, specifically an orange. Now here we have these. Just anodization from that. You can do all kinds of pretty patterns with different methods. I just wanted something super basic just to protect it from rust. And these will be part of a video just taking a look at opinel in general, seeing if they're worth it, if they still have a place in the current EDC market, if you have higher end stuff, or if you can afford stuff, maybe you want to use them as gifts. We'll be taking a look at them through that lens. The reason I got these was as a little bit of an add-on to getting these. There was a BOCA sale. Now, unfortunately, I did not get the BOCA that I wanted, as I waited a little bit too long. It's a lesson that you really should shop for knives at work, folks. Just don't wait till you get home, they'll be sold out. And ooh, the name of this is escaping me, but it is Rocket branded. You can see here. And this is just a very little flipper frame lock, stainless steel. This was about £20, I think. And instead of having a flipper tab, this actually has a tang flipper. So this is just part of the knife itself. This is actually the lock face, and the scale is just cut through here. Now this is actually very popular from BOCA in terms of like the Kwaiken series. This was a very popular way of giving the Kwaiken a lock face based flipper tab back before they offered a flipper version. I actually do have a modded BOCA that does that I'll show in the video alongside this. Now, because this is small and because this version of a flipper is not very comfortable and the clip is pressing on the lock itself, it's not the most comfortable things to open, but I think it is stylish. It's very minimal, and I think this would go great with like a bit of a business office kind of look. Very minimal, stays out the way, looks a little bit classier, and overall I'm very happy with it. The texture is also very grippy. Next up, we have the BOCA mass production of the HEA Designs Headhunter. Now, this is just small enough, and I haven't front flipped for a while, that this is going to be really awkward. There we go. So we have a nice aggressive clip point blade with almost kind of a pseudo fuller going on here, with a flow through opening hole as well as an option. Stainless steel lock side frame lock with a milled pocket clip. And then what I believe to be a G10 show side. It is very smooth for G10, and the action overall is okay. I would say both of these knives do greatly benefit from a little bit of lubrication. Unfortunately, my nano oil is currently all over a shelf as it exploded, so I need to pick some up, but this one in particular will benefit from some detent track lubrication. There is quite a bit of, if you can hear this, That's literally just the detent scraping along the detent track. So that will greatly benefit, and I think that this one will also benefit a little bit as well, particularly in terms of making it easier to open with the hole. That's partially just because it's a tad too small for my hands, in my opinion, to be able to do some of it comfortably, but overall, I'm really happy with these, and I'll be making a full review on each of them. Also getting dedicated videos will be this portable EDC screwdriver and these box cutters from O-Knife. Now, these were sent along by O-Knife for review, so thank you very much to them, and they will be getting their own dedicated video, one for these guys, one for this guy. But just a quick little overview whilst that video is being made. These are just utilitarian box cutters, however they are in more of a traditional pocket knife form factor. Here we have a almost denim micarta, a G10 that kind of looks a little carbon fiber in finish, and of course we have the donut finish. I think Desert Warrior is specifically a brand specific thing, but this also is kind of the style. This does go along great with the i3T that they did in this style though. To take a quick look at them, here we have the utilitarian utility blade. Now you can use this as a thumb screw to get it off, and we have a sliding post lock, basically access lock. Now the pattern is discontinued, and you can flip it open exactly like an access lock. You can use the thumb stud. The action is very good, better than I thought it would be actually. And we do have a deep carry clip. This is very much a pocket knife, right? This feels like a pocket knife, not a box cutter. However, we do also have a little bit of a bonus on the back. You can see this notch, this button. You may have also seen it when I was moving around. We have an 8mm. There we go. We have an 8mm bit driver with a button lock. So locks in place and then just away. And it does come with a double-sided bit. So there may be other variants. These are the 3 variants that they sent me. And so far, I'm very happy with these. They actually all come with a little one-piece tool. Very thin little guy. Like each one of these will come with this in the box as well. And on the topic of screwdrivers, this is an aluminium version of their titanium originally EDC screwdriver. So we have a little detent retained door here with some bits in. They're all double-sided 8mm bits. And I do believe that it does also have the relevant bit sizes to actually maintain, take apart and maintain these guys. Now this is something that you can just pop in a kit, pop in another pocket. You can attach a lanyard to it or a bead. And whilst you do have the straightforward forward driving, it does also offer a little bit of torque from the side as well. There we go. So this is not just a flow-through hole, this actually does get smaller. It is a tapered opening and it is shaped properly to the bit. So you can't push it all the way through, which is, gonna be honest, what a lot of one-piece tools do is they just have a hole cut in them so that you can do this. At which point, it just kind of like goes all the way through. So this is actually a nice touch, and then you can really apply the torque with that 90-degree bend. This is really interesting. I've actually been carrying this as part of a little toolkit. Very enjoyable, and I've been very happy with all these. Again, you'll see a video on these and a video on this guy. Speaking of the O family, this time O Light, these guys have been kicking around my little office for a while. The Baton Turbo and the Warrior Nano. Enjoy both of them, use them both quite a bit, have a lot of thoughts on them, and these will each be getting their own review videos. This is, in the Baton family, but as you can see from that incredibly deep relative to its size smooth reflector, this is, a very throwy guy compared to your standard batons. Just while we're here, we have a Baton 3, just to compare the size. And the Warrior Nano, I actually do have the original Warrior for a bit of a comparison here. This is basically the Baton, but what if it had some self-defense orientated features? So we have a very small crenulated bezel, just to increase striking effectiveness. And then we have the standard Warrior magnetic tail switch, which gives you 2 phases. 1, 2, and then you can change that to be both turbo and then strobe as well. In terms of size, I think that this is, I mean, definitely better in self-defense than this. However, I think it is more orientated to people probably with smaller hands than myself, because it does kind of make it hard to access and also protrude from my hand. But I have been a fan of both of these. I have a lot to say on the Baton Turbo, because I don't really think it's a baton and I don't think it should be in that family, but more on those when the video comes. And then the rest are lights. We have these and some others. So this is a borrowed style light. This is the V10. However, this is not borrowed branding. This is something that is incredibly inexpensive and accessible on Amazon and other sites like AliExpress, probably stuff like Temu and Shein too. You know, just incredibly cheap. However, I've been very pleasantly surprised with the build quality for the price. It's basically borrowed in all terms of construction, probably the same place. And it's been great. I'm really looking forward to reviewing this. I think this is a very solid option, particularly if you're not interested in the pivoting, rotating head that are on some of the other models. This is the Trustfire Mini X. This is just a little keychain guide. This comes in 2 versions, one with a red light, one with a UV light. You see you have the dual emitters there. Now, same Trustfire UI that we all know and feel mixed feelings about. Here we have the red light. However, I've been very pleasantly surprised by this guy. This is actually a lot smaller than I was expecting. And I think this is really viable to use both as a keychain light, as it's intended, but also just as a little bit of a 5th pocket light, small toolkit light. You know, if you have a little EDC pouch, this would actually work really well there. And finally, for this little selection, we have the Sofirn F1. This is a 14500 light, which also accepts delays. And what really attracted me to this, and this was sent by Trustfire, this was sent by Sofirn, is the fact that this is a zoomy. You can see we have the zoom that you would associate with cheap, terrible lights, but instead coming from inexpensive and usually very high quality Sofirn, which is something that primarily attracted me to this. I wanted to know how well a zoomy could be done. Overall, I'm very impressed by it. However, it does have a little bit of a fixable flaw, in my opinion, that I'll get to in the review. And this is like £9 something, I think, with a 14500 with a built-in charging circuit. So very accessible. And again, all these will be getting their own videos. We do also have more Woburn lights coming to the channel. These 2 I purchased. This one was sent over for review by them. So this is the X2 Pro. I backed the Kickstarter. There was significant delays in that, which were not great, and communication could have been better, but I did receive it. Overall, this is an extremely interesting light that has some things that could be worked on. I also picked up an XO Night, and this is the G5. This is an upcoming guy from them, which I believe will be releasing in April after an unfortunate factory fire set back production. Rotating light. We have a brightness controlled by a dial, and we also have an RGB. Very interesting. So these are the things that have been crossed onto my table recently. What do you think? What do you want to see the videos of first? Let me know in the comment section down below, and whilst you're down there, I'd greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. I've been Paul, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.